Bienvenue, mis amours, Noir&Nerdy, le podcast que vous méritez.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
we're back again, guys. Sorry for our little break that we took. So now we're going to cram these Interview with a Vampire recaps out before Sunday. We are going to cover episode 3 and 4 tonight. And then we're going to have episode 5 and 6 for you. Then episode 7 right after that. But here with me, Joy from Brooklyn, I have Kalila
Hey.
and Kira.
Hey.
So we are going to go over episode 3, which is titled Is My Very Nature That of the Devil? Directed by Keith Powell, and the writers are Roland Jones and Hannah Moskowitz.
Yes.
So because we left off with Louis kind of feeling like he's a bad vampire.
Mm-hmm.
He's faking it just to get by so that Lestat still doesn't look down on him. And it kind of brings up the same things that he was already going through before he became a vampire. Not feeling like he was adequate, feeling like he's at the bottom of the barrel, and he thought like becoming a vampire was going to kind of like take those things away from him. And here it is back in a whole new form. It's kind of that no matter where you go, there you are.
Mm-hmm. Even with music pisses them both off, but Lestat more right now. But like, I don't want to say too much about it. You know why? But you know, his connection with music like carried over strongly. You know, and I love that.
So start the episode off. They're on the park bench where the Louisiana Purchase was signed, but also I love again that the show hasn't hidden away from those aspects. And Louis immediately is like, yeah, and they also used to hang slaves here. Like the history that the rest of the world sees about this, that is
That
a wonderful.
romanticized. Yep.
Like all of these places and all these things that are built in the Bielefeld, this and that is America's foundation is like on the backs of his people, of our people, and you guys don't seem to remember that. It's like, let me remind you about that also before you start talking about the grandeur and the beauty. It was like there was also the screams and the pain and the blood that came along with that. We get Louis trying to balance out, if I'm going to be a vampire, what type of vampire am I going to be? What can I be? So I love this conversation because it's one that we often have when we read about superheroes or supernatural people or entities, especially when they're of color.
Mm-hmm.
We always say to ourselves, well, why didn't they go back and why didn't they fix these things that we're dealing with today? Like if there were super people out there or people who had control over situations, why didn't they do things to improve for the betterment of their people or people that they see are being at the bottom? Why didn't they do that? Like for Lestat, we already know the answer is because he's like, you guys are food. Like your food
at the bottom of the food chain, honestly.
Yeah, your food, your mice that I swat around before I feel like picking one up to bite into. Like I don't get into, the fights that is happening along, in the nest with you guys. Like that's not my business. Like I don't care about that. As long as there's enough of you left behind for me to eat and to play with, that's what I'm here for. But Louis is still in that place of wanting to help humanity, and now he's trying to figure out how he can do that as a vampire without losing control. But his humanity is still there for him, that it's hard for him to figure out how he can do that and be the new thing that he is now.
So Lestat's first mistake was watching Louis' persona that he had to have because he had to make money and take care of his family. So he's watching him in this persona react to something not good. So he has to react in a not good manner, or even worse than whatever was the not good thing. And that's the moment he decided, this is my person. And
Yeah.
it's like, whatever viciousness you thought you were seeing in that moment, clearly you don't know everything. Because if that was really who Louis was, then he would have been Kasha.
But also, what we know about Lestat is that he claims he wants someone in that equal caliber as him, but does he?
Yeah. Does
Exactly.
he really want that equal? He really does. I feel like he wants a companion, but he doesn't. He doesn't really want an equal. He thinks he wants an equal,
Mm-hmm.
but every time someone starts acting equal, he doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Episode 3, I remember feeling confused. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what is actually happening? Like, does he want Louis? Did he think he wanted him until he turned him? Is he already sick of him? Does he not understand how vampirism works and that this man is a vampire forever? I was like going through all these things, like, what is actually happening? And then I'm going, and if that's how I'm feeling, and I'm thinking, and my head is racing, then how is Louis actually feeling in the situation?
Because yeah, okay, no, that's a little bit of spoiler. But I was like, okay, because to Lestat, he's giving more than what he got. He's giving more than what he got. So he feels like this should be good. This should be enough
Mm-hmm.
for you. I'm here
Right.
with you. I'm going through this process with you. So that in itself should be enough for you.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't realize, like you said, that Louis wore like a mask of,
Mm-hmm.
and he thought, and what Lestat thought was that if he was able to give him this gift, that it would release him from those shackles and he could go full blown into
Mm-hmm.
the life that he thinks that he should have. Louis is still very much connected to where they are. He's connected to his family. He's connected to the people. He's connected to his businesses. He wants to use that power now to turn around the things that he felt were wrong in his human life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And part of that is the way he can balance out the evil that he's going to have to do is let's go after evildoers.
Mm.
Let's just do that. We'll go after evil people. And again, we all know the balance of what makes someone evil varies so much.
Right.
You
Like,
know, I think he wanted him to eat that fucking baby.
Real bad. I feel like he might have been jealous of that self control he had, because he would have
Yeah.
definitely ate that baby.
mm-hmm.
It
That's
He
wouldn't
would
another
have
even.
thing
ate
Louis
that
did. The fact
baby.
that he has such self control so early is also something that Lestat didn't think was going to happen either. He thought it would be more like him floundering around and him having to chase him down to be like, hey, you can't kill everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When it's the opposite, that he's like, do you want to kill anything? Like, would you kill something,
Right.
please?
Please, anybody, please.
Because you could tell
Eat someone.
if he did turn out to be the opposite and ran around killing everything, he was just gonna let him do it.
He would have
He
had,
like, oh, you
he would
almost
have had
ate the
some
baby.
little rules there for their safety. But other than that, he would have
He
loved if he was
said,
slaughtering whole families. He would have loved it.
oh, you almost ate the baby. Do you like this outfit or this outfit?
Yeah.
What? Did you hear what I just?
Like what I just said. Whatever. He's like, okay, whatever you say. So, okay, so then we
But
go on
then,
to, sorry, Kalila, you were saying something.
I think that, well, I don't think he would have let him slaughter everyone, because I do remember he was trying to teach him a bit of restraint, and basically saying, oh, you can't go after somebody who they're going to be looking for.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like maybe in his head, Louis took that and ran with it, and now he's not going to kill anybody. He's just going to, get an animal here and there, and now he's over it. But at the end of the day, I feel like he's jealous. What we said earlier, Louis is jealous because it's not Louis, excuse me. Lestat is jealous of Louis' self control, because if he can control his thirst for human blood, what else can he control? Like, how is he can obviously probably control his desire for Lestat, which maybe Lestat can't do on his own. Maybe he feels more infatuated with Louis than he wants to, and Louis showing all of this self control maybe kind of is putting things in perspective for him also.
And I'm so annoyed with myself because I, like I told you earlier, I didn't reread the book, so I haven't read it since I was like 16. But for some reason in my head, Louis was bisexual and Lestat was the gay one. I don't know why it was like that in my head.
Okay.
But then this episode really like laid it out for me, because I was like, because once Lestat did his BS with the girl,
Mm,
I was kind of expecting Louis
Mhm.
to like go find a girl, and he was like,
right.
"Nah, this dude over here though."
Yeah.
I just maybe Louis was on the fence and then crossed over once he gave into it, because in the first episode there was a woman present, but after that I feel like
Yeah.
Louis was like, I found my niche, if you will.
Hmm.
He got game though, but I said, oh, he got game on both sides, huh? Because whether he wants them or not, he knows how to make women attracted to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think from the book perspective. What did I think? I thought that I actually, from the books, I always kind of felt more that Louis was gay and that Lestat was bisexual.
Yeah, I think I just had the L's mixed up in my head.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Yeah,
I
for
was
the
like,
book.
yeah, I think that's backwards.
Then they're at the club. They're at the club, and we see Antoinette up there singing.
Mm,
Ma'am, please, would you please, would you please? Like you said, here goes Lestat. Like, I'm gonna be flirting with this chick and acting like I'm really interested in her. And it's just like, again, it's the thing that what we were talking about with will be hard for some people with the show is that this is a toxic relationship.
mm-hmm.
This is a
Yeah.
toxic relationship. We like from the books know, and then there's other people who probably get an inkling of that already. That Lestat is,
Malloy peeps that too, low key.
yeah, that Lestat, like, he he wants someone, but he doesn't want to let anyone know that he wants someone.
Mm.
Like, we see the desperation there for him, but he tries to cover it. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
him going after Antoinette and using Antoinette when he done killed off the woman that Louis had,
Which pissed
he
me
had
all
to
the
have
way off.
conversations with. You done killed that woman so that he has no one. He doesn't have Paul. You already know he doesn't have a good relationship with his mother. And you know that his sister is married to Levi and she's got her kids and stuff now. So she has her own separate life. Like, you know that Louis is very isolated. So for
Especially
you to
now.
now know that you want this man badly to be your companion and everything, but then you're gonna like, oh well, I'm gonna have my little flights of fancy also.
Rude.
Like, you're playing games with me. Like, oh,
And then
you're playing games.
wanted to act shocked when Louis was upset. Like,
Right. Like, this is a new vampire. He's going through it right now.
Exactly. You telling me all of this stuff because it's putting more doubt into Louis' head because he already feels like he's a bad vampire. Now he's like, am I bad boyfriend, lover, whatever it is that we are? Because why are you seeking other people out? Like, have you done this before? If I don't get this right, are you gonna get rid of me and now you're gonna add this Antoinette woman? Like, what is happening here? Because you're not giving me anything to make me feel solid in this relationship.
I feel like this is definitely the episode where somebody noticed that loose little string on the shirt and said, "Hey, what's that?" and pulled it,
Yeah.
and that shirt is their relationship.
Uh,
And
yeah.
it's just going to continue to unravel.
Yep. So we see, you know what? I do like when shows do this and writers do this. I try my fanfic to do it on occasion, like to weave in historical facts
Mm-hmm.
into
I
things.
I love it too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so the little nerd comes out of you, be like, I know that and stuff. So we see Jelly Roll, who was a great jazz pianist. The only thing I didn't like that they tried to make it seem like the Wolverine Blues that Lestat has something to do with
Oh,
writing that.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was so glad too that Daniel immediately was like, "Huh?
Yeah.
No." He was like, "No,
He ate him
sir."
up for that. He went and started. He went to did his Googles expeditiously. He said, "Hold up, hold up,
He said, "Hold on a
not you
second."
appropriating,
Exactly. Oh, so you trying to tell me that the
not the
Wolverine
revisionist
Blues
history."
is from Lestat? He was like, "Yeah, I'm not trying to. No, I'm not hearing that. You're not gonna sit here in front of me and steal that black man's history." I said,
Yeah,
"That's
Listen,
right, Daniel."
shame on you.
no,
And you
thank
was
you.
there. I had to whack you on the nose with a newspaper.
Not today.
And he
Shut up, because he
immediately,
wasn't
like you
having it.
said, he followed it right up with like, let me play for you a few of your inconsistencies in your story, Louis, because what is happening here?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like you're making shit up.
But like, it's kind of like you just made that up. Like, and he absolutely did.
He's like, oh, my memory and stuff, which is true. That when we think about it, like our memory
You're right.
to,
He had the rose-colored glasses on then
yeah,
for
like
sure.
we romanticize ourselves, or we make ourselves into the victims, or we make
But
ourselves into the victor, or
Just think about how
like
you.
how Rick went from the
or
damn
our
sheriff's
minds
deputy to the
automatically protect
sheriff.
ourselves from things that are traumatic, and so it weaves a story in a different way, so that we don't have to deal with that trauma again.
Even just simple things. Think about whatever, a friend or whatever, and they said something to annoy you, right? So when they text or call you, it's like, oh, this bitch. But Friday, you're over it. And so when they
Mm-hmm.
text or call you Friday, you like, hey there.
Exactly. When somebody play that recording, you be like, "This bitch." You be like, "Oh my god, I would never say that. That's my best friend." And then they play the recording, and you like, "Oh yeah, she." And you know what? She did piss me off that day, but it wasn't that serious though. I was just in the moment
Right.
with my emotions and blah blah blah. So and then like you said, time records it differently in your head, and you're just like, "Oh
Yep.
no, it was never that serious." But every moment that we have in our life, like right then when you're in it, it's that serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you go past, and then your mind weaves it and molds it, and then you look back and you're like, no, you're like, no, actually it was terrible then, but okay,
I'm
like
thinking
it was
about,
actually terrible.
years of all different kinds of friendships and relationships and all kinds of shit. And when I was pregnant, my best friend ate my donut. Girl, y'all, I tried to end the friendship.
Eating a pregnant lady's donut is crazy though. That's egregious.
I tried to end the friendship,
You were
y'all.
like, I
You
am
weren't wrong.
done.
Because
I'm
would a friend do
done.
that? That's really crazy.
I
Done.
love that I'll be bringing it up and like, we laugh about it now because now in my normal non-hormonal brain, I'm like, because I was crying and everything, like, no.
Well within your rights.
Like, oh, so you want me and my unborn child to die is what I hear. Is what I'm
Clearly.
hearing. That's what I
Of
hear right now.
starvation.
Ridiculous. But
Mm-hmm.
you're in it. The memory is just, like, yeah. And then after you look back, you're like, again, it's kind of a little reference for the show and in life in general that you be in a toxic relationship, but then your mind only picks out the good things, and then that's how you end up backsliding. And then finally, if you backslide enough, and you're there, and you're like, why am I back with you?
Mm-hmm.
You were
Mm-hmm.
terrible. You were
I think,
terrible. And
you
that's what
know,
Louis going through.
for people that have had children before, when you really truly think about it, those types of situations where we're all like, that can never happen to me. I would never go back to that, this, and that. Just think about this. Usually, when people think about the worst pain imaginable, they either say it's childbirth or compare it to childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did it 4 times.
And I'm like, I don't know how.
4 times. And C-sections.
Oh my gosh. All 4?
All 4.
Lord. Oh no.
Oh, okay, okay. See, I never went back after the first one. I learned. I learned. Like you said, it is absolutely a pain that you can't explain, you can't describe.
Nope.
Nothing is like it.
Nope.
It is the worst pain you've ever felt in your life. So it sets you up to get back into it again, and it got you 3 more times, Kira.
And it's
Everybody
like,
out there who got multiple kids, it got y'all. Because
Got
the
y'all.
memory is terrible. Yeah. Yep.
but same
Terrible.
to come back to interview. It's like the same thing with relationships, because I think, with babies, they give you that chemical release a lot. Like having a baby, taking care of it just constantly is like that chemical release. If you breastfeed, it's like that times 10.
Mm-hmm.
So in relationships, you're constantly getting that chemical release again from your partner. And it does kind of help you forget all the stupid shit that should have made you leave and never come back in the first place.
Yeah. So we're watching Louis tell this story and battle that in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel is like, about this man is terrible. So, but the way you are telling me these stories is like a gothic romance, and he's like,
Right.
it's not good. It's not good.
He's
So yeah,
looking at it
everybody
from the outside in, and he said, "Oh,
Yep.
you're a victim."
He basically looked at him and said, "This is possibly the worst fucking story I've ever heard." As far as like how he was,
If we any of us met a vampire, you expect them to tell you about fantastic things and them like, okay, the blood and the killing and stuff, but you expect everything else outside that to be amazing. Like you got to go to balls, you're enjoying this lavish life, like you're, and he's just like, yeah, like it was terrible. Like what is going on here?
Lestat's mean to me. He's an asshole. He don't know how to be faithful. I don't know what the hell is wrong with this man.
So you decided you live this unendingly. You said a regular human lifespan was not enough torture. You said, let me add a couple of decades and onto this because I want to drag this out. So, yeah. But essentially, that's kind of is kind of Louis' point of his story.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the point of his story. And so it's just about whether the reader understands that or whether they hone in on the splendor and the opulence versus what the actual message is.
So I often wonder, will he be using quotes? Will he be paraphrasing? So many things about his writing style compared to Louis' storytelling style. Like there's so many things that could change the story just from kind of a different writing style and the way that comes across to the reader. And so I want to like jump into the screen real quick and say, Louis, I need you to understand. We all know you're not telling the story the right way. It's not 100% truthful. Baby, it's okay. That's a fucking psychopath. And you was mesmerized by the psychopathy. We get it. Sir, you know he not telling you the truth. And you know he don't remember the truth because he had on rose-colored glasses. So I'm going to just need you to get it together and stop having an attitude problem.
That's what
Like,
Daniel kills me too with the crankiness.
yeah. Like, it's funny to me on a lot of levels, but at the same time, I'm nervous. Like, do you realize that he could get up and just snap your whole neck off of your body?
Something about illness really gets emboldens people because he didn't give a damn. He was, you saw how he was acting in the prior episode. and got up and slapped him. So I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
He must know that Louis not going to kill him, and especially based off what he's been saying, talking about his lack of desire to kill for the most part and not wanting to do it. I just feel like he knows he's safe because he wants the story out, and he can't do that if he eats him.
Yeah, because it's kind
True.
of like the same thing. Like he came back to start the story all over again, start this interview all over again.
Right. He's not trying to
So,
waste time.
And he already survived one interview, so.
Right.
because now
Right.
he's like, "What the hell's there to lose? Like I'm dying anyway, so
Right.
whatever it is. Like, but I'm gonna put now with my maturity as a journalist, like before I kind of let people tell the story they wanted to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to be able to ask the questions and to dig deeper, but I also have to balance that out with I'm doing it with a vampire, and I'm kind of foggy on what went wrong the first time. Like I got these little marks on my neck. I don't actually remember exactly what went wrong that first time and why I should be fully scared.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love those moments when it always flashes back to the interview process and Daniel is just like, "You're eating like, oh, you're just gonna drink blood right in front of me. Like, oh, you're just and then you're gonna serve me a plate of food. Like I can smell the blood. Also, I'm still a human, but I can smell the blood. And then, like, what was the guy's name? Damick? Like, oh, you're gonna talk to me while he's eating you? Like, don't talk to me.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Right.
First of all, I was like, don't look at me, sir, please. Just don't.
it was like, oh, they bringing out saran wrap for the tape. What is happening here? No, Daniel was like, no, all of this is no, thank you. Like, can we just get this interview done as quickly as possible? I don't need no breaks. I don't want to go to sleep. Like, none of it. Like, let's just do it now. So I do like that part of where Daniel is like putting his foot down. He's saying, I'm the
Mm-hmm.
interviewer. I'm going to listen to your story. But when there's parts that the story is going a little off the rails, like I'm going to interject in those moments, or I'm going to push, or I'm going to try to get you to dig a little deeper on parts that I think are going to be important for the story. But also, he does in episode 4, he does remind him that when you tell a story, you put something out there, it doesn't belong to you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the reader to now digest that, and they're going to put it into the context that they think it is. And so
Mm-hmm.
you're sitting here trying to give me this perfectly crafted story, but all of that really doesn't matter because once it
Right.
gets into the hands of the public, they're going to say what it is. They're going to make it what it is. So you might as well just lay it all out instead of trying to piece together what you think
Mm-hmm.
is
Like
going
if
to be
you're gonna
taken
tell the
away.
story, tell the story.
Yeah. It's like, also, you seem like you're doing this to make your peace with it. So you might as well just say it. Just say it. Just get it out there. So we'll see from there. Okay, yes. Lestat is doing his thing with Antoinette, and he likes his little flights of fancy. He's gonna kill her eventually. Louis like, okay, well, hey, there's a soldier coming into town. They just came into town. Like, I recognize him. I remember him from back in his day.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little fun before. Now he's grown, so we can have a little more fun. And so you shouldn't be upset with that. And Lestat is like, yeah, whatever, have fun. I don't care. You care.
And all I was doing was like, oh God, please don't kill this man. Don't
Yeah.
kill this man.
It's funny. Okay, because in the books, okay, because yeah, I'm gonna try to do a little contrast with the books. Okay, so in the books, immediately after Louis, which is different from here, is that Louis immediately after he's turned in the books, all of that, all of the charm and stuff about Lestat, like it's gone. Like he almost immediately recognizes. He's like, well, this dude don't know what he's talking about, and like He doesn't have any of the answers. He don't got the keys. He don't got none of the stuff. Like he's immediately like disenchanted. Um and it's him in that process of like, because he's his maker, there's still this bond, there's still this connection there, but he's immediately like, I'm gonna have to kind of figure out a lot of the things for myself, and that's not what I expected. I thought like once I got the
Mm-hmm.
dark gift, he would be more open to telling me things, and that's not what's happening. But the same aspect of the him not feeling like he's the right type of vampire, all of that is still there. All of those elements were still there in the book. Louis's connection to humanity is still there. It's still there with his sister, the way it is in the show, but there's also a woman named Babette that he has a connection with in the books. And he tries to help that woman survive. Again, there's of course a reason that they had to take that out of the story because she was a plantation owner. So when Lestat kills the brother who was the one running the plantation, Babette is now the oldest sister who has to kind of like, what's the family going to do? And we're all girls and we're not allowed to do this in this time period. And so Louis goes to her clandestinely, whispers to her about what she needs to do to keep her family on the rails. And she listens to him. She believes that he's like an angel come to give her information, and she follows his rules and helps him. I mean, and she does end up helping him in Lestat because again, it's different from in the books that the same way that there's people that don't understand about supernatural or don't have those sort of belief systems, but the slaves, the black people, knew about those type of things. So immediately
Mm-hmm.
when he's walking around being weird, they're like, "You're weird. The
Mm-hmm.
dude you being is weird. We're on to you guys." So we don't know exactly what it is, but we're out here dancing. We are talking to the spirits. We gonna do like we're doing the whole thing. Like something's weird is going on here, and they do end up having to take refuge with Babette at one point in time because of some chaos. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but that was still his connection. So we're still, it's just different in this series of what Louis' connection still is to humanity. And Lestat, of course, is still like, why you keep playing with the food? Stop playing with the food. Like you're feeling like you just set yourself up for disappointment and you keep playing with the food.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and it's bad because it's kind of true. It's kind of
Yeah,
true.
he's not even allowed to have a moment of anger because it's unfortunately a loss of control, and he can't afford to literally ever do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
At least not with humans.
Mm-hmm. Not with
Sorry, I was
certain humans,
right. I was looking over
specifically with
my.
certain humans, and that's the thing that I know irritates Louis even more when they're at the poker table again because he's like, I have all this power, I have all this standing as a vampire, and I don't. My humanity makes it so that it's hard for me to kill people. But the ones that I actually would like to kill, the ones who are openly racist to me, the ones
Mm-hmm.
who are not allowing my business to flourish,
Yep. Stab
the ones who are
because I'm
keeping
doing
their boots on my neck, those are the ones who are in power and have a space, and those are the ones that I can't kill.
right. Because what do you eat them?
No, go ahead, Khalil.
I just that's the most wretched part, and maybe the most realistic part is he's able to identify the most evil people. They definitely deserve to die, but he cannot kill them because it's going to disturb their entire way of life. Because these aren't people you can just kill. Well, now
Mm-hmm.
people you can't just kill and just get away with it. People are going to look for them. People are going to investigate, and there's a chance that it's going to lead back to you. So of course he can't go for the just and deserved kill in this point because he really should have cleared the whole room. Honestly,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So it's like,
And okay, my brain keeps skipping to the end of the episode, but my brain is not. It's not putting together why we got to this point at the end of the episode. What did he do to Louis? He was cheating him.
yeah.
They was messing with the business, right? They was trying to shut the business down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So okay, so before we see that he wants Louis to be doing most of the labor for the business. He was willing to give him
Mm-hmm.
15%, but then Tom decides to say, oh, 15. No, no, no. We're only going to give him 10. 10% is what we give the niggers, and you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
give him more than that. So you have that aspect of it. But there's the second part of it where now that he's a vampire, he has Lestat's money. He's able to buy the club and take over. He builds it up into this huge thing, and now this dude is like, "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna take that. We're gonna probably take that away from you. Like we're passing the blue laws are being passed. All of that stuff is going back underground. We knew that we were sitting in this offices legislating all of this things that we knew was going to take you out of
Mm-hmm.
business, but I'm willing to take it off of your hands for you and help you, you just sell it to me and I'll take it over and, we'll help keep you in your place.
Which, no.
I knew, I'm telling you, from the deepest depths in my soul, I knew he was gonna kill that motherfucker.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Like, this is crazy.
I can't blame him because I probably would have been killed him actually way before this.
I'm
Like,
like,
who are you talking to right now, sir? Who the hell do you think you really coming at with this bullshit? Like I'm just stupid, or like I'm really gonna sit here and just be like, okay, you can have it. Like,
yeah.
no.
But again, he's talking to him thinking he's just a black man who has no power and no standing. So I
Right.
can do
Mm-hmm.
whatever the hell I want to do with you. And
Yeah, I
all
don't.
of that pretend, let me give you 15% was all subterfuge. Like your whole plan the whole time was to allow me to run this business, get it to the level that you thought it was going to be in a good standing so that you can come and just steal it from me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Wow, you're a piece of shit. Well,
Yeah.
not surprised because I mean you're racist, but
Yeah.
That whole listen, I was like, well, whatever he do, he just do because they deserve it at this point.
Like, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Look,
But
I tried to tell y'all to stop messing with that man. Y'all don't want to listen. I don't got nothing else to say.
like, that's what you get. Okay, because since we jumped to that part already, we might as well talk about it because it's always, again, it's like that balance that you always have to have when you have to think all the steps ahead. And especially when you're a black person, that unfortunately, the way you are, the way you live, and the things that you do reverberate back onto your people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that thing that we always are trying to do a balance of like, oh, I don't want this to push back on my people, but I
Mm-hmm.
also need, like, we also aren't a monolith. Like, we also, like, I'm my own person and what I do shouldn't affect us overall. The
Mm-hmm.
decisions I make shouldn't affect us overall. But there's always people out there that are waiting for the tiniest thing for you to do or say, and for them to use that as their opportunity to galvanize people who hate you just because of the
Mm-hmm.
color of your skin or your sexual orientation or your sex or there's
Mm-hmm.
people are just waiting for anything to flip that because those type of people live off of fear. They live off of fear. Louis goes there and does the thing that we're like, yes,
Yes.
he's finally accepting that he's a vampire. He's finally fully into it. He's gonna slice and dice this man, and then when you see, and you're like, Louis, that was too much. Like, that was too much. What are you doing?
I was like, oh, the town ain't going like this.
I thought you was gonna kill him and then like put his body in the incinerator. You done hung it up on the man's house. off a torso.
Gruesome.
I was like, Louis,
Louis.
Louis.
A bit much.
Louis.
Let's take it down to a 7.
Look. Look again.
If I was a
Louis.
man, I always thought Lestat was the dramatic one, but it turns out to be you. Like,
I would have had such an attitude because the way, if I was there witnessing it, the way I would have just walked out in the middle with him needing to ask me where I'm going to pack. Clearly. To pack. Because clearly we don't live in this town anymore.
ridiculous. My God. But yeah, but you know what? We kind of can see also what got him there, what got him to that
Yeah.
place. He's has this moment with the guy that he used to have a little fling with back in the day. He's headed, which to him feels safe to do this
Mm-hmm.
with the guy, not only just because he's a vampire, but because this man is leaving to go off to war. Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this was World War One, the Great War. It was called then. So yeah, so it's got to be like 1916, 17 at that point, because that's finally when America got involved.
Mm-hmm.
So he's figuring like, I'm gonna do this little thing with this dude. He shouldn't be any threat to Lestat because he's not staying. So
Mm-hmm.
I can relive the thing that I've always wanted to do with this man before, but we couldn't do because we were scared boys that didn't want people to know about what we were, who we were attracted to. So I can do that now with him, and okay, and then he goes, and it'll be fine. But then he gets out there, and his desire for blood just takes over, and he's just like, I can't even enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't even enjoy this right now because I want to bite him so bad. But also, he then realizes why Lestat has always said to him about eating or feeding from animals is never going to satisfy you.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to satisfy you because it's just not enough. The blood isn't strong enough. It's not going to give you the feel that you want. It's not going to. You're always still going to want to kill humans, like no matter what you say. Like it's just not going to be enough for you. So that's kind of like him having that little realization right there. Is like, damn, like I really can't be close to any of the humans I really want to.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes home, and here goes Mama Florence.
No,
She
because
knows
I
what.
can't stand this lady. And this is gonna sound so messed up, but at this point I just want him to kill his mother. Just eat her.
Piece of and she was talking shit in her head.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
It's,
You don't want to eat her? Send Lestat. He won't mind.
I was just about to say, I understand if you can't do it yourself, but go ahead and just toss her Lestat day.
my
Wasn't she
God.
rude to Lestat? Call and remind him. Remind him that she was rude.
But also, again, it kind of goes to why Louis is willing to be in this relationship with Lestat because
Mm-hmm.
he's used to being in toxic relationships. He's
Yep.
used to being stepped on and told that he's not enough, even though he's doing his best.
Mm-hmm.
He's going above and beyond. But he's so used to like, oh, okay, you're gonna take my money, mom. You're gonna allow me to run cat houses and keep you in the lifestyle that you become accustomed to. You can still keep up with your ladies in society because of the money I'm bringing in, but then you also want to look down on me because I run brothels. Like, what do you like? That doesn't make any sense. Then add to the fact that you want to be homophobic, also.
Right. I'm
Right.
really picking and choosing where to draw the line.
Yeah, it's like you don't, and if you don't agree with your son being gay and stuff, because obviously we know during that time and
Right.
blah 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 and stuff, like that's the thing that always just kills me about that too. Is just like this is your child, and if you loved your child at any point in time, even if you don't understand something about them, that should be the one person you should learn to have some compassion for. Like your ability to learn compassion should come from you seeing your children
Mm-hmm.
and what they go through and the experiences, the newer experiences that they're going to have that maybe you didn't have. Like, you should be able to learn from them and to grow yourself as a person. But no, annoying. So annoying. So yeah, she won't let him into the house to see the damn kid. And now he done took the damn door off the
Took
hinge.
the whole door off. I said, please don't nobody be standing in front of this damn door. Please, because you are squished.
Done took the door off the hinge. I'm like, so again, we understand why he gets to that place with the guy, because those are the last pieces of his connection to humanity that he has. Yeah, that's gone. And now this man is like, the other last piece that he has is his business. And now this man is like, hey, yeah, your business, oh, that's not your business anymore. I'm taking that business away from you.
The audacity.
Yeah. Everything that he thought being a vampire was going to help him fix is like gone.
Yeah.
Poor Louis.
Well, one problem is gone now. And hanging from his house.
I was like, okay. So, yeah. But Louis still, trying to hold on. He was still trying to hold on to that piece of his business, and because that was the last thing that he had left. Even his bottom chick, she was like, yeah, baby, we might need to pack it up.
Mm-hmm.
No, what he decides to do is make that wonderful sign, hang it on the door.
That's history. Let me that up because every June 19th you will be seeing me post that.
Exactly.
He created history with that one.
Exactly. On Black Solstice, that day too,
Oh.
the anniversary of when we got our superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
Shh, don't tell anybody we have superpowers. Hang that for that day also. Hanging that every day for Kwanzaa. So yeah, whites allowed. He was like, since you guys want to put your little sign up, no colors, how about I put my sign up also?
The way I cackled, oh my gosh.
And the fact he just sitting at the table, he was just nicely painting the sign next to his whole white boyfriend. Like,
he really had a lot of nerve for that, didn't he?
But wait, I'm sitting there the whole time like, exactly, next to my white husband, who, by the way, is cackling at the fucking sign with me. Fucking cackling. That shit was hilarious. Because I would have did the same shit right next to my babe. Give me the marker. Give me the marker so I can make the no
right
white
now.
sign. They done pissed me off. He would be like, "No, let me write it. Let me
write it, babe. I think it would be better if I hung it because then."
Putting parentheses
like,
underneath it.
Because he would probably walk up to the place like, yeah, and then see the sign and be like, go walking on down the street like, damn, nabbit. I was gonna go in there. I can't.
They have really good stuff in there, I guess. Gold. That scene was gold.
Yeah. A classic. It will go down in history. Jacob Anderson, you will always be famous.
Always
Be famous. He's going to be a 70, 80-year-old man, and we're going to still be posting that on whatever social media is in the future. The hologram, we're going to put the hologram out on whatever we are.
Don't send me to no con where he's going to be at. Because he's going to be signing a sign that says no whites allowed. And I'm going to hang it right above Richie's side of the bed.
I was like, oh my God. It's going to be hilarious. But I love that for his legacy, that he's going to be able to take that in and be like, yes, I give my people something. So thank you, Jacob. And thank you to the writers.
Mm-hmm. Perfection, for real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what did he also do? He started a riot.
Yeah.
His sign started a riot.
Again, that balance that we have to do. And now he's like, I done brought hell to my people. And again, another little history lesson for us that we know that in what was it, 19? It wasn't in New Orleans, but there was a race riot that year, and yeah, it's just the slightest thing that a black person can do that someone
Mm-hmm.
can say is out of line, and now your whole town is burnt down.
Yep.
All the businesses are gone. You know, people will say like, "Well, why haven't African Americans pulled themselves up by their bootstraps?" Well, like because every time we do, you know, someone looks in the wrong direction or dares to ask, "Why can't I keep my business? Why are you trying to like, hey, I didn't hey, can I ask a question?" Like, no, you can't. And you know what? We're gonna burn this whole goddamn town down just to show put you people in your place. Like we're gonna burn this whole goddamn town down so we put you people in your place.
And y'all with it if you're in the
Asked,
damn houses.
I just asked if like I was just wondering. Nope, burn it all down. We got to teach you guys a lesson. You get a little too uppity. Uppity. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now the whole place is getting burnt. Storyville's getting burnt down. Chaos in the streets. Oh yeah, when I went to the interview with a vampire experience thing at San Diego Comic Con, which was fantastic. I'm gonna post some pictures from that on our Instagram page, so they'll come up on our blog page, so you guys
Mm-hmm.
can see that. But I'll also post some stuff on our Twitter page as well. I love that there's a part when you came in and you're going in and there's like these people like sharks that are trying to sell you the elixir of life type of thing. When my daughter and I walked in, one of the guys greeted us and he was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, just in the New Orleans accent, which I'm not going to try to butcher here, because I already butchered the French one. Again, I'm sorry to the French. Like, I'm sorry to the French. I'm sorry for that introduction. It was terrible, terrible. But yeah, when we walked in, the guy he was just like, he was like, "Oh my god," he was like, "Black ladies." He's like, "Storyville always you use some more black people." He's like, "Come on in, you're welcome." Thank you. I'm so happy about that. So even though interview season 2 will be over by the time San Diego Comic Con comes, I was
Yeah.
like, maybe there'll be something there, or maybe there'll be something for the witches. Who
Oh yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Oh yeah, and I forgot about that little Easter egg to put in our last episode. That when Grace is talking with Louis in episode 2, I believe it is, she's talking and she brings up about the Mayfair sisters. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
little Easter egg right there for all the book nerds.
I
And
was like,
like nerd real hard.
she's like, why are you dancing? I'm like, didn't you hear what you just said?
It's so hard, guys. You don't understand. Ridiculous. Yeah, so again, so we go back to the race riots is happening and Louise floundering trying to find something he can fix in this.
Mm-hmm.
And he hears the whisper for help and the fire escape is falling down and he busts in there. Auntie's on fire already. Ain't no saving her. So Auntie is on fire. She is done for. So he hears the child's voice and he goes there to save her. Ben. So then we come into episode 4. And on episode 4 is called The Ruthless Pursuit of Blood with All a Child's Demanding. And it's our introduction to Claudia.
Claudia.
My
Played
favorite.
by Bailey Bass. She does such an amazing job as Claudia.
I
Yeah.
mean, it
I
became a whole new show for me once
yeah.
Claudia came.
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. So, oh, and it's directed again by Keith Powell, but the writer this time is Eleanor Burgess. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, I know that name. Hmm.
So we get this episode is all from Claudia's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah,
Who
Claudia.
I wrote down in my notes. I said, "This little vampire looks like Tricity."
So yeah. So now we got our new edition. So okay, so a little book story comparison. In the books, Louis is in despair again. He's still trying to not feed off of humans. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that situation with Babette comes to a head because the slaves realize like y'all ain't right, and we coming with the fire and the pitchforks because we gonna get you demons out of here. So they have to flee. And in that fleeing, they go to Babette to hide out. The connection with Babette is there, but eventually, what Louis ends up doing, which he knows damn well he shouldn't do, he reveals himself to Babette. And vampires are different in the show versus what they are in the book. So in the books, they're almost all white, and their skin is almost always like porcelain, described as like porcelain. And like in direct light, you can see the veins, you can see the eyes, you can see this overpowering beauty about them that a human doesn't have, along with the way they move is just all completely different. So a human would immediately be like, "Oh no, oh no, oh
Mm-hmm.
no, this is not right." And of course that's what Babette does. It freaks out, and she goes into like full on hysterics, and Louis like. So again, it comes back to Lestat saying like, "I told you, stop playing with the food. It's just setting you up for disappointment and your feelings to be hurt." Now look, the woman's crazy as cat shit now. Everything you did to like improve her family is over essentially because she's rambling and whispering and talking to herself and doing all this crazy nonsense that pushes Louis like into a despair. And that he's like, I'm a bad vampire and everything I'm trying to fix is not fixable. Also, I'm hungry because I keep just only eating rats and birds and cats. Like, I'm so hungry.
I know.
so, so he goes off, um, and he ends up hearing this little tiny heartbeat, and goes into an area where the plague is full blown going on because yeah, the plague is happening. Like the in the book, the plague is going on. In the show, we're already past the plague because of the time periods, but the plague is going on. So he goes in there, he hears the child, and the mother's already long dead. He feels compassion for her and everything, but he's also starving. And so
Mm-hmm.
he bites her, and then he's like, no, I can't believe I just bit this child. He runs off in despair. With all the chaos that happens, blah, blah, blah. We jump to Lestat comes to him and is like, hey, I got something for you. Because again, the same way the book is just doing it differently, that Louis is still enchanted and in the book he was disenchanted. But either way, there's still a wedge between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Lestat wants to close that somehow. What's the best way to do that when you're having a bad time in a relationship? Let's have a kid. Let's throw a kid in this. A kid will fix everything.
Everything like
Everything.
magic. Mm-hmm.
So he does just that. So in the book, he's the one who gives her the dark gift to fix what Louis did, because it also makes Louis be in a situation where he's feeling guilty about what he did to the child.
Right.
And then, hey, we're going to give her a new life, blah, blah, blah. But I also get something that keeps you happy and it'll keep you tethered to me.
Mm-hmm.
because now we're a family and you have to stay. Um, and of course, is a temporary bandage,
Very
temporary
temporary.
bandage. And okay, so one of the things also this is a switch from the book to this is that Claudia in the book is 5 years old. So in the show, they aged her up to be a teenager.
I mean, thank goodness.
Right.
5-year-olds are already demonic.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? What are y'all trying to do? I
So
want, look, y'all may have never seen her in person, but I want one of y'all to imagine right now somebody turning Tricity into a damn vampire.
and yeah, I just imagine Claudia like yeah, all the demandings of a child, but in a vampire, and just cute as a button,
Mm-hmm.
cute as a button, just suckering people left and right, and just leaving a trail, leaving a trail. Like what? Yeah.
I mean, so before I was a zombie girly, I was very much a vampire girly.
Mm.
Originally, I was a witch girly. So, I moved through
Okay.
all the stages. But I was vampire for a long time because we had Buffy, we had Angel, we even had the like Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, which was hilarious, and I kept watching it over and over again. Um, we had Van Helsing, we had
Mm.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen that had a vampire in it. We had this classic Dracula and all that
Yeah.
other stuff. So
Blade.
yeah, then we had Twilight, we had all this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
one thing that is a constant: do not turn a child into
Mm-hmm.
a vampire.
Literally. That's like the number one rule after like
Mm-hmm.
don't drink blood from someone that already died. Like number 3 on that list is do not turn children.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care that she was almost to adulthood. Stop it!
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the worst time. Do you know how many hormones are going through? She gonna cry if you eat her donut. That's how many hormones is going through her body.
Dude, I wanted to eat that person. Why did you eat them? No, I'm mad. You want to eat the person I was planning on eating? Okay, I'm eating everyone in this town now. Just to show you. I'll show you.
Before I leave forever, because screw you guys.
Exactly. I'm running away from home. How many of us have said that? I'm running away from home. You're never going to
Mhm.
see me again.
I
I
was
used to
like,
that with my parents all the time. I'm
how
running
do I
away from
tie this
home.
bandana up on the end of this stick for it to stay on?
Like my parents watching this, they were gonna be dying at this part because yeah, I used to be like, I'm running away. I'm leaving. You're the minute I turn 18, you're never gonna see me again. I'm out of here. Like, relax. Calm your hormones down. I'm gonna go have a seat. Go eat an icy,
I used to
watch some
get
TV, watch Looney Tunes or something. Like you're gonna be all right. Put on a Pup Day Scooby Doo that makes you happy and just sit down. Like, like
I used to get in trouble and then go in my room and be like, I'm adopted anyway. I don't even belong here.
I
That's
think
not,
that's a childhood dream. We all dream we were adopted. Right? We
I ain't
separated.
related to
Our
none of
real
you.
family is out there.
I ain't related to none of you motherfuckers anyway. My family gonna come get me. Watch the. I'm about to call them. I'm gonna figure out who they are and call them. Keep playing with me.
Exactly.
Especially because like I look like my dad's side of the family, but I was raised with my mom's side of the family, so I didn't look like anybody. So
Mm.
in my head, girl, my family was coming. Okay.
My God. What about you, Kalila? Because you're closer to like the younger age.
That's true, yeah.
uh
You ain't had too much chaos when you was a teenager.
no, I was so like quiet and just I loved like at that age, I'm gonna be honest, I was like deep on YouTube in the conspiracy theory with my with the tinfoil hat on, like literally.
Okay, yeah, too. That's the thing too. That you grew up in a different generation than us,
Mm-hmm.
also.
Yeah. YouTube was just coming out and it was becoming a thing. So I almost got really, well, almost is also not the right word. Definitely did get swept up into that early YouTube era where everything was new and everything was hilarious online. And then this Instagram was brand new. Snapchat was just barely becoming a thing. Like, so
Okay.
it wasn't so much as chaotic as more as I was just immersed in all of the new things I was learning because my computer became my best friend.
Okay. So you didn't have
I
as
was,
much of like, I'm crazy. My hormones is going. And your
I was
parents are just looking at you like, if you don't sit down, please.
awakened how boring my teenagehood was.
Okay. Oh no, I'm a middle child, so I'll just say that I was in
Oh, see,
full.
that's probably what.
I was in full rampage mode,
So after
and that's all I'll say about that.
I just really wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I wasn't even like, I was honestly, when I was really young, I was shy. Then I started growing out of that. And I've always been shy, but I like kind of force myself not to be because I just think it's ridiculous. But I was always like quiet and did my schoolwork. And as soon as I was of age, I wanted to work every single day. Like, I don't think I was a terrorist, but if you ask my mother, she'll tell you I was a terroristic teenager.
That's the thing. This is like, no, go ahead, Kalia.
Wait, what happened? You didn't.
I thought I finished.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry.
No, yeah, I was like, yeah. If you ask my mother now, she's like, no, you weren't that. But I look back and I'm like, no. There were
You just
definitely
don't know.
moments where my head should have been knocked between the washer and the dryer.
You just didn't.
Like, yeah, I was doing too much. My mouth was real slick. My attitude was through the roof.
Oh,
I had no patience. I thought everybody was a freaking idiot. I'm the only one with sense around here. Have you people read books before? Oh yeah, you couldn't tell me nothing. Yeah, because I was full on into my book. Like I was reading all John. I said,
Yeah.
you can't tell me nothing. I know everything.
Y'all, when I tell you back then, that's one thing. And I guess deep down, I feel like my mom may not say I was a terrorist because, like, how many kids is going to be like, no, I don't want to do that because I'm in the middle of this book and I don't want to. I need to finish reading this book. That's how I was. And I would run through Stephen King books so fast because I like train my brain or whatever at 8, sitting there reading Stephen King with a dictionary next to me,
Mm-hmm.
looking up the word and then looking up the
What people
definition,
do.
like the word, a word
Mm-hmm.
in it. And, eventually Stephen King's writing style and stuff, as I got older and was learning more in school, I didn't need the dictionary next to me. So then by
Mm-hmm.
the time I was like 12, I was reading his thick ass books in like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me another one right now. I need it. And my mother like, there's no way you're reading that. I'm like, I need another book.
wait.
Yep.
Now. I need another book now.
Mm-hmm. It was like my favorite was I used to.
I was a library kid.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I used to go to the library also, but
I
when
have
I love the book
don't
because I'm
know the
still like a book collector now. Like I love a tangible book. Everybody who follows me on Twitter see when I posted some of my Anne Rice books, and they're all old, weathered, yellow. Not because I didn't keep them in perfect condition, but just because they're that damn old. But and I told Sam Reed this when I met him, and I was like, I didn't have money, so I used to steal the books.
one lady at the library saw me read this book so much that she gave it. She said, "Just take it." I was like, "I don't have a library card. I'm not allowed to have one because I kept checking out VHS tapes. Don't tell nobody."
Mm-hmm.
VHS tapes and then forgetting to rewind them and then bring them back and rack up fees. So my mom took my library card
I'm done.
because I wouldn't rewind them. But
I'm done.
series had me in a headlock.
Lord, but yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. It was like I used to be like I had enough to buy one book or two books, but I wanted three. I was like, I want to read. Like, why can't I own this? Like, I deserve to have this book. So,
I'm done.
but
Message to Stephen King. I purchase your books for anywhere between 25 cents and $1 each from garage sales. No one earned money off of me buying a book until I was about 16 and bought my own books because I was like, no, just because I say I want a book, that does not mean I want to go to a garage sale. Could we go to the store?
Yeah,
mhm.
else's
Yeah,
house.
I didn't like old books. That was
No,
my problem. I still don't like old books. I'm like,
because
I want to be the
and
first
it's
one to crack
I
that page. Like,
smell
I
it.
want to hear the
I love
bind. I want to
smell.
hear it go, whoo, yes. I want when I open the top, like I want to hear that sound. Like all the book nerds in here, they know exactly what I'm talking about. When you do that, you're like, whoo.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
I
I
feel
love.
like that's more of a hardcover book thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have one. Where is it? It smells divine. It's an Alex Haley novel, and it's just thick and it's old. I've had it forever, and if you just flip through it one good time, you get a good whiff. Like I don't know. It's. I also
Yes.
love the smell of Home Depot. So, and it's simple.
Oh, you're anemic.
You keep telling me that.
It's like you said, when you open an old book and smell it, and you're just like,
Oof.
oh, mold. The mold
Is
smell.
it mold?
I'm done. I don't know. With me getting books from garage sales and stuff, it was interesting to see like people's little notes they would put in a horror book. Like, why are you writing notes in a horror book?
Oh, that puts me off
But
in the
okay,
library. You be
Amanda,
like,
good job.
That
go
sometimes
to
that
check out a book and someone that wrote notes in it. Like, go to hell.
Yeah.
You don't deserve
go
literary. Like, how dare you?
quite. How the fuck dare you? You're absolutely correct. Writing notes in a library book is diabolical.
Yeah, and what
Writing
the
notes in
fuck
your
is
book
wrong
and
with you?
period in general drives me crazy. I'm like, get a post-it
Bitch,
note.
why would you? Why do we all need to see your notes?
Yes. Also, get a post-it note. Post-it notes
A
have existed for a
post-it.
long time.
Exactly.
Then I had to start convincing people to get me a bookmark because I don't know what I read or watched, but I was obsessed with Stephen King. And I remember one time he was like, yeah, if I see my book pages folded, that is like
Oh, I
atrocious.
hate
Like,
dog ear.
don't.
Oh
Like,
no,
not. That's why I don't lend people books.
I with mad corners down. So sorry. I don't think she noticed.
What?
The hell
Wait,
out.
what happened?
She said she used to dog ear her book.
No, when I was like 8, that's what I used to do too. And I think like I got done with it and I tried to close it and it didn't close the way I wanted to because of
Oh,
all my freaking dog ears. Like I would unfold them again
Mm-hmm.
immediately because I didn't want them to stay like that.
oh, that's how I know where my favorite parts are.
Ah!
Mm-mm. I
Don't
always
let
been
me
like I would get a little piece of
corner.
paper even before I had like access to post-its and stuff. Like I would always get like a little piece of paper and just cut it into little perfect snippets
Yeah.
and then put it on the pages because I refused.
Oh,
I
I
cannot
love that.
stand dog ear in a book. Like I can't stand like when a book is like messed up and I'm just like, oh, you just didn't love this book at all. Like
I love a
The
well-worn
thing
book.
is that
Like if
to me that shows
a
that
well-worn
oh you
book.
read the shit out of that because like
Yeah, I like for the binder to be a little bit white on this if it's a paperback. Like you know what I'm talking about. I like it
yeah.
well
Like
worn.
that's
Like
what happened on
that
paperback in
on my
general.
kicking my legs in the air as I read.
Mm-mm. No, you know how I used to do my paperback? I would, like how some people open the book and they bend it the whole way.
Yeah.
Oh no, I used to just open just as much as was necessary to see, and I would like just keep my fingers there just to
Okay.
ah
open
I can
to
picture
keep the page because I didn't want.
you used to walk around with your heels on the
nah
sneakers.
nah nah.
Well, I also when I was young, growing up, I walked on my tiptoes.
Oh.
I'm not. Yeah, yeah. Another one of my idiosyncrasies. I was like, maybe, perhaps
So
that
you
might
was
have
walking
something to
around
do
with
with
a
ADHD. I need
book
to look
and
that up.
creased sneakers?
Huh?
So you was walking around with pristine books and creased sneakers.
No, but my sneakers wouldn't be like creased. Like I just knew how to walk like that.
Oh, all right, all right. Okay, well then
Yeah.
at least we're
Oh, I
consistent.
ain't gonna crease my Timbs.
I'm screaming, not the
But I just never. It wasn't until I think it wasn't until I got probably in high school and someone had said to me and they were like, "Yo, why you walk on your toes?" And I was like,
no. You're like, see, you got lucky. People be having to go to all types of therapy. Don't need surgery for it. You do it too long from too young an age.
I think maybe that's why I can still wear high heels because I've always just walked on my toes. Like that's just regular. Like that's just regular.
You know how you put like, well, I don't know if they do this now, but like my aunt would buy a new pair of shoes, take them home, and immediately stick that wooden thing in there.
Yeah, the stretcher. Yeah,
Immediately.
I call it the horse hoof. I love it.
That's old school right there.
I used to have to like do that with my books because when I'm really into a book and you be like chilling, leaning back or with your legs up, whatever it is that you're doing. And a lot of times one handed. And I'm 5'3" and I've always been a skinny mini until I started having kids. So me one handed means I need my book to be able to lay flat on its own. That book almost closing, the book almost closing constantly made me almost quit reading. I was like, I can't.
Yeah, no.
Note to myself, I will never be lending either one of you books. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. It's not happening. Mm-mm. I got my little ring thing that you put on your finger and it holds the pages like that for you to keep it from getting creased. Y'all not horny for books the way I'm horny for books.
And it's crazy. I really love a book, but I don't know. Something about an old book doesn't work.
Yeah,
at one
we're just horny for books in different ways. Like,
at one point, probably when I was about 20, whatever Stephen King book existed was in my house. Along with a bunch of Anne Rice, James Patterson, and Dean Koontz. It was
okay.
ridiculous, actually. I had to get a storage unit. It was ridiculous.
I still have books in my parents' garage, and my mother threatened every now and then. She's like, "You need to come get your books." No, I don't. What are you talking about? That's the whole point of having parents with a garage. Like, excuse you. This is what it's here for, to hold my book. So would you please stop asking me that because I'm not coming to get them. And so I get a new bookshelf, and then I'm gonna come get part of them because I'm gonna put them all cute and fancy on my new bookshelf. And then, but the rest is staying there. I also have my college. Any book that I bought in college, I still have those books. Yeah, I was a
I'm done.
monster. I was a monster. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But yeah, we have gotten way off topic. I know
Way
everybody
off
listening.
topic.
Hey, everybody who's listening. Oh yeah, we still are in fact talking about Interview with a Vampire. Okay, run off. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but yeah. So we said all that to talk about Claudia
What are
and
you?
the
Mm-hmm.
hormones and
Yeah.
the chaos. So aging her up still works because it's just a different type of chaos that
Yeah.
you are as a teenager than what you were when you were a child with no impulse control because you still have kind of no impulse control, but you have more freedom.
I'm
It's
telling you,
just yeah. So
they're selfish little a-holes, those 5-year-olds and toddlers and yeah, yeah.
and teenagers. So yeah.
Yeah, and all of them.
It all still works with what goes on. Yeah, I can't say that part yet. That's a little spoilery. But we'll get to that eventually. Yeah, so Lestat bring I mean Louis, so it's opposite here. Louis brings Claudia home. He's like, please save her. I just want to make something right and stuff. And Lestat is like, nope, I'm not doing this because let her die. He's like, take her to the hospital. What are you bringing her here for? He's like, she's burnt. She smells. She's on the nice bed. Like, why are you putting her
Right.
on the good sheets?
Barbecue.
He's like,
And
why are you bringing her here? Take her to get out of here.
If you don't get this shishka teenager out of here right now.
I did not ask for a Chipotle teenager, please.
Like, why did you bring her here?
Hard
He's like,
so they were really
but of course, the little light bulb goes off above his head, and he says,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I can use this to my advantage because I could feel him slipping away from me. And this is the one little thing that I can give him. I can make it like, oh, it's about us and about me making him happy, but it's also about me keeping me happy because you'll stay because she's here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bite this kid, give it the blood. Ow, she's sucking on my arm too hard. What is wrong with this little demon? But he also secretly like loves it because now he has someone that's more like him, more of what
Mm-hmm.
he thought he wanted Louis to be. So we watched that play out, but we get it from Claudia's perspective, and I like that because again, we always talk about that in the pod and in life and stuff in general that people pretend kids don't realize what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the lifespan of Claudia going from being a teenager trapped in her body to her becoming a grown woman in her body and her mind maturing. And so we see her go from a girl that may not understand everything to a woman who understands, but she's still trapped in the child's body. So
Mm-hmm.
there's none of that process of what human growth is, where your parents kind of start to realize, like, oh, you're an adult. As your body changes, as you go out into the world, then they start to treat you differently because, oh,
Mm-hmm.
wait, oh, this is an adult. Like, when I look at them, like, oh, yeah, they're an adult now. I have to change. Well, at least if you're doing it right as a parent, you should realize, like, oh, my child is an adult now, and I have to adjust our relationship
Mm-hmm.
now. But because Claudia never physically changes, that relationship, they try to keep it the same way the whole time. And she's like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So, not doing that. And also, I still have some level of the petulant teenager in me. So all of the things that I now am able to connect the dots with about your relationship, because I've been observing your relationship this whole time. And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud. And
Mm-hmm.
and what are you gonna do about it?
Nah, shit.
It's just chaos, chaos. But she has that little moment because she refers to them at first as the black angel and the white angel who came to save her, and she's just living life and just enjoying herself and just like hopping and skipping and oh, we go out, we kill people. Oh, this is cute, and you're like, oh, like I love this. Like we live in life. Like I was gonna die. Like I remember because I remember my aunt was on fire. Yeah, sorry, and I was about to go down. So I'm happy to be here, and yay, I get to have fun and do all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But she connects with Louis and Lestat in two different ways.
Yeah, two interestingly different ways.
Yeah.
I know Louis wants to be and think of himself as her dad, but I just constantly feel like it's a big brother, little sister situation instead of like a dad. Lestat's the asshole dad, and Louis is like the big brother.
Because essentially he made both of them. He's both their
Mm-hmm.
maker.
Yeah.
So, like you said, that dynamic to him, he feels more like he's the father
Mm-hmm.
to her. But like you said, it's more like he's the big brother that I was already with mom and dad and
Mm-hmm.
went with, and I had to live through their crazy shit. And now you're here, and I'm gonna try to shield you from some of that with them because I had the experience with them first, and now you're here, so I'm gonna try to make it a little bit better for you, but you're also your own person. You also have your own personality, and I wasn't prepared for that. So now I'm going to try to cushion the blow. But he's also kind of like, I don't know if envious would be the full word,
Yeah.
because he sees her and he's like, damn. Again, it just fortifies for him, like, oh, I'm the messed up vampire.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is the second vampire I met, and she ready to go out here and slaughter her whole family. I'm still eating cats. He's like, okay, so yeah, I'm really the worst vampire. Okay, this is what it is. This is why Lestat is disappointed with me.
Right. Because he would be the only vegetarian vampire walking around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not surprised because it also kind of fits personality. Like, of course he has trouble just eating people. It fits with Louis' like he has this gentleness about him that kind of fits that. This is probably why Lestat liked him so much, also. Which,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
Claudia was giving. She also would clear the room with no questions asked.
No question.
No questions asked and be like, I'm still hungry.
Like, that was just a snack. Can we go? Can we please go out for seconds?
Yes. Like, and I'm going to
It was
kill this
probably
person right here in the middle of the street. Like, I don't even care. Like, oh, we supposed to.
who's throwing us?
She's like, what is the incinerator for? If not these occasions.
Mm-hmm. Why
Like, do
is
you
it?
want me
Why
to
do
drag
we
the
live
body in there?
here with that thing if we're not going to use it?
Yeah. She's like, well, what were you guys doing before I came along? Like, what are you doing?
Just letting these people walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so that's how Daniel, because now he gets to read her diaries,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, a little intrusive because,
Right. Yeah.
why are you reading this child's diaries? But
Mm-hmm.
also, it gives a part of the story that Louis is not able to give, a dynamic that he's not able to tell, and is going to give Daniel a look in to a less romanticized version of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was keeping them diaries. I'm like, girl, you better than me. I had about 2 diaries when I was growing up, and then after that, I got bored. I was like,
I
this
tried.
is boring, boring.
It's it's therapeutic to not like if you're a person that truly can't get comfortable sharing things and opening up to other people. It's a way to just get it out of your head, which is something that took me a really long time to learn. But yeah, I mean, I always try and I always start out good, and then it's like I got shit to do. I don't got time to be sitting here right. If I'm gonna sit here and write, it's gonna either be a post mortem, a spoiler free, a paper for my psychology class. What you want me to write? Because it ain't gonna be in no damn diary.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, it got to like I understand why with Claudia, but yeah, because we all kind of get to a place where like we're living life, and you kind of in that the teenage years to early 20 years, hopefully, are the years when you start to find your voice.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes from writing in a diary to now I'm just going to tell you what I got to say. But we see that evolution with Claudia also, that she gets to a point where she's just like, hey, I'm just going to say what the hell I got to say now.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know that Claudia didn't have any children, anyone to confide her stories in. Louis and Lestat have each other.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have that. So we see when she goes out and meets that boy. What was his name? Charlie?
Yeah, the one.
Yeah, Charlie.
And she meets the boy. Like, yeah, it's just
I I knew as much as Claudia is kind of like my fave right now. The vampire girly that I was, even if I never read anything Anne Rice, it's like I knew exactly how it was gonna play out with her. It's like that's the story. That's the story with young vampires. It's usually a female. She usually loses her shit because she realizes like I don't know, she's never going to get her period, or she's going to be a virgin for the rest of her life, or she's never going to have kids. It's it's a lot of things that women have to go through way after the age that she got turned, that she's going through these motions, realizing basically y'all should just let me die for all this, basically. And then they get their minds changed by a boy or a girl, depending, or a they, depending on the situation. But they, find that person. They're infatuated. Yeah, let's spend all our time together. Yeah, let's make out. Ooh, ooh, you smell good.
yeah. I was like, oh my god, it was so because like that was in the moment where she had like, I'm gonna stop. Like, you guys will treat me like I'm a doll, and I'm grown. I'm getting older. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna dress. Like, she did a whole Pretty Woman montage where she was just like, I didn't came out, got my new thing. The parents is but in their head it's still like she's playing dress up, still not realizing that
What the hell?
she's older.
So
Oh
sorry
my.
for my technical difficulties, everyone. This is going to be a very interesting editing experience.
Yeah, because I was saying something about Claudia, but who knows now? Yeah, she got the hormones is going. She got the little crush on the little boy. She already done seen the people necking in the car that she had killed before when she was hunting with
Mm-hmm.
Sat. So she like, I got the basics for this. Like I got the basics. Like I've seen Uncle creep into Daddy's bed at night.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm writing in my little diary. I hear a little smooching and stuff. Like I write some things happening over there, but she don't know the full magnitude
Mm-hmm.
of it. And again, we go into like when you're raising a kid, like these are conversations you're supposed to be having with them. Like even if they know for themselves that the hunger is going to outrule lots of things, especially when it comes with a human around. And they
Mm-hmm.
know that she doesn't have another vampire there for her to experience any of those things with.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that all of those things are still within her because they're in you.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you pretending like this isn't happening? But a lot of times that's what parents do. They pretend like,
Yep.
oh no, my kids, especially teenagers, like, they're kids. They don't need to be. All they need to do is abstain and da, 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 and then Charlie's dead. Like, you saw it. You knew that boy was throwing them flowers on the steps. You knew she was getting all dressed up and going out on that balcony for some
Mm-hmm.
reason.
Yeah.
You knew all of these things was going on, but you didn't have the conversation with her.
Well,
So
the
then
sign,
she
like
ends up,
most dads, they wanted to just ignore it and kind of act like they didn't know
yeah,
what was
like it's not happening.
in denial,
Like,
just like a dad.
but moms do it too. Sometimes,
Yeah.
You know what? Let me not. You absolutely right.
yeah, they get into that, like, oh no, they don't need to be doing this, or if they're doing it, like I don't want to have the conversation with it because that makes me uncomfortable.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you're a parent for, is to be uncomfortable.
because then you setting them up to have to get taught about it from people who could, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like you said, we see Lestat is don't care. He like, yeah, whatever, you killed the boy. She's crying over the boy. She's begging, like, bring him back, give him to give him some, give him to me. And you like, you killed him. He's dead. He's blue.
You ain't
Like,
you
no
finished your book.
compassion for
Not
her. Just no compassion for her. And the situation is just like, oh my God, like, Lestat, like, you please. But that was like the moment of him being disappointed because he realizes that Louis has had some influence on her emotion, and he's like, I gotta deal with that again.
another sensitive ass vampire.
Mm-hmm.
What is all of this feeling?
My feelings.
He like, I'm tired of you, motherfucker.
I know he wanted to lock them in them damn coffins until they had at least 50, 100 years on them. It wasn't emotional.
But the problem is he's
These
not gonna
Drake
do
ass
that because
vampires.
he doesn't want to be alone.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He
So
got to realize you are emotional too, Lestat. You too just want to be held.
yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
you're dealing with said vegetarian and teenager.
Mm-hmm.
hmm We do have a flash of Daniel having a conversation with Rashid because he's like, he's trying to, because while he's doing his research and he's going through this interview process, but he's trying to figure out the humans who are involved with Louis. Why are these humans involved with him? Why are they willing to be involved with him as a vampire? Like, what are they getting out of it? Not realizing that he's one of the humans who's involved with the
But
vampire
sir, you
also. What are you getting out of it? Because you're sick, you're dying, presumably. You don't have a relationship with your daughters. You don't have a relationship, I presume, with your ex-wives.
I was just about to say his wife. I don't think is in the picture either.
Yeah, so you're
Sickly, alone.
you're hoping to, I guess, leave some money to your family, but you also are having a connection with the vampire that other people would say, why would you put yourself in this circumstance? But he's looking at everybody else that comes there and has conversations with Louis or is around Louis. Like, what are they trying to get out of it? But Rashid is the one he's looking at the most because Rashid seems very protective. And what's the word? Because he says he looks at him like he's a god. But, Dad, what is that word? What's the word I was going to say? The way he looks at him. But yeah, he has Louis like up on this pedestal, and he's just trying to figure out what Rashid's end game is in this situation. Why does he have this great devotion to him? And he's just trying to figure out the time period with everything. And then he's also kind of like making assumptions too, like, oh, okay, your skin's brown, you look like this. Oh, you must be from here in Dubai.
Right.
And Rashid is like,
look at
no one's from Dubai, baby.
the shit out of everything.
He's like, no one's from Dubai. This country is a child. And but he's doing his prayers. So again, he's trying to like, Daniel's trying to figure out like, dang, how can you be here praying, have this deep connection to a spiritual entity, but yet you're here with the vampire? Like, what's going on? It's weird.
Sorry, I don't mean to cackle.
Like, it's weird. It's weird what's going on here. Like, what type of relationship y'all got going on? Like, this is a little weird. A little weird. And yeah, so we'll get more on that later. Oh, Claudia gets her own coffin.
Yeah.
Got her own coffin. They could have just, you know what? In the book, it is actually the way that is kind of the way it happens, but the coffin maker stays alive. They go there, they tell them that because Claudia says she had been sleeping in Louis' coffin the whole time, and then as she got older, she's like, I want my own coffin. Like, I don't want to sleep in the coffin. I want my own. And so they go and they tell the tale of how she has some illness and she's dying, and they want to just get her coffin already made for her and stuff. And the coffin maker's like, oh my God, the child, what can we do for them? And they're like, nothing.
He jumped in all hype.
Like, there's nothing we can do for her. Just make the coffin, sir.
Like that, she was fucking chipper as hell in that motherfucker.
She's like, it's so comfortable. Coffin maker's like, girl, you're not gonna know. Like, you're not gonna know.
It's when he was with Beth in that damn funeral home, he just hopped in that motherfucker. I said, what? You don't feel the vibes? She did not care. She just did not care. But I love that about her because she was really like, she really could care less about societal norms.
Yeah.
And she like even like didn't care how strange any of this looks. She just living her life as a young vampire because fuck it. Quite literally. Who gonna check her?
Exactly.
Not neither one of them fools.
Gonna do nothing. Did she spoil as hell?
Yes.
But given like I would be using that to my advantage every few minutes. Like, remember that time you tried to eat me? Like,
which in the book, yeah, it's different here because he saves her from the thing. But in the book, yeah, he did try to bite her and stuff, and so he hides that from her in the book for a long time.
Aww.
It isn't until she has the confrontation with Lestat that she's like, wait a minute, what did you do? What was your hand in this? And then, yeah, that's when it comes out that he's the one who had bit her initially and set the whole thing into motion to steal her life. And there grows the hostility. But yeah, poor Claudia.
Let me tell you.
Again, like any of us. No, I was gonna say, if you say to any of us, like, hey, would you go back to being a teenager? Like,
hell no.
Like, no. It was just chaos. Just chaos. Like, nope. Oh, and then we finally get the death of someone that you've been dying for them to die. dying for this woman to die. Oh my god. You probably
Ding
was
dong, the bitch is dead.
That sounds so fast.
you probably acting like Claudia at the funeral. Hey, looking
Dang.
in the casket like, damn, she dead, y'all.
Like she dead as fuck. Oh my god. Like
Wait, how it go? MJ gone. Dad dead.
screaming.
I was like, oh my god. And
That
also,
bitch
why would you
dead.
bring him to the damn funeral?
Right, because you know that was gonna act a fool. Why would you do that, Louis? Now you know you should have went alone.
Or rather, it was
You
the
know,
wake he took
but
them
that
to.
and Claudia was the last two people that should have walked into that motherfucker.
Thank you.
Why would you even?
Grace and Levi like, who this little girl? Oh Lord. So that's kind of like Louis' last little hold on the human world because now he finally walks out with his new family and tells his sister like, yeah, whatever, like yeah, like, I'm gonna give you the house. You know, don't pretend you're gonna give me money. You gonna pay help you.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna pay me back for the house. Like you ain't got no money, girl. Okay, you don't got the money and whatever. Just keep the house and do whatever the hell you got to do there. Because that's not a thing. Like that's not a thing. But yeah, he's kind of like I feel like Grace, like his relationship with Grace was like his last like positive relationship, and it's turned so negative with her that he's still like heartbroken about that also
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to her. So I was sad for Louis in that. Just like damn, his last little piece of a person that didn't look at him with disdain. But yeah, Claudia's back to her rampages and doing all of that good stuff.
It was all expected. I said,
Yeah.
oh, she about to be a problem. A teeny not dying, doesn't care if she gets hurt problem.
Extremely powerful, strong.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's different from in the books that because Claudia is a child in the books, she can't really walk the world the same way
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that she can as a teenager. So we're able to see that she does in the books. Because New Orleans is like a lawless land where a child can go out and people like or you can do like what savvy young kids will do. Like somebody be like, "Where's your mother?" Oh, she's in the store.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's over there. Just point to somebody random and people. Oh, okay,
Right. Because they don't really want to get involved. They just want to,
yeah, they
seem
just
like
want to soothe their conscience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier for her to do that type of thing. But young Claudia and this Claudia also, book Claudia and series Claudia, sure, takes advantage of that with people who are like, "Hey, little girl, you can." She's like, "I'm not okay. You should take me home." And then I'm also gonna kill her. So I can kill you. But yeah, yeah, yeah. All of the sadness and pain and anguish and exhilaration and excitement that goes into being a teenager is just all right there
Mm-hmm.
for her. But yeah, she kills that guy. She kills Charlie, and Lestat is just like, yeah, whatever. That's your problem. Throws the boy into the damn furnace and just no compassion for her at all. And so I think then that's when she's starting to realize. She's starting to realize that there's no place for her in the dynamic.
Mm-hmm. And she becomes that friend that can clearly see the truth about her friend's relationship,
oh yeah.
but the friend doesn't see it yet.
Because she's not. When you're not blinded by lust or caught up in the middle of it, it's very easy to like
Mm-hmm.
problems on Front Street. Because no shade. Even Malloy was peeping the inconsistencies and the toxicity. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
who right there in the thick of it.
Because again, Claudia's diaries are giving him
Mm-hmm.
the other side to it that Louis is not giving him. Louis will talk about Lestat. Lestat did 50 terrible things, but then he hugged me. So
Like
it was okay. And he's like, but you just said all of these terrible things that he's done. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then Claudia's in her book, like, he's an asshole. Like, let me tell you the. You're like, oh, this is what I needed. This is what I needed right here. These are the parts I needed.
He like finally.
Yeah. But again, Louis is. He wants him to take only certain aspects of her story. And he's not realizing that, yeah, once it's out there in the world, it's going to become whatever the world makes it when it gets
Mhm.
there. And he's nervous about that.
And
Oh,
no matter how much you try to spin it, there's always somebody that can see through bullshit.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and she's good at it. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
she was reading that. She was reading them like a book.
But when it comes to that, also, what we know is that people don't like when you can see that they're bullshit.
Yeah.
They hate that. They were like, oh, you're not just going to go along with what I said?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. I'm going to question you.
So every time I stop going along with people's bullshit, a relationship ends.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Poor Claudia.
Oh, no, that's.
Is it
Uh,
after she because she does the thing to her first person, right? And she's heartbroken over that, or did we?
no, it ends with again another thing that can happen.
Oh, I thought it was the my fault.
That she starts to do self. She starts to self harm.
Right.
Starts to self harm. So that's how we end. We end with her getting out of her coffin and sneaking out to open that little latch to let the sun in, and she starts like burning herself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, another element of being a teenager that isn't often spoken about. And so yeah, we're watching her go through another phase of becoming an adult, and she
Trying to
can't figure
understand.
she doesn't have the answers. Louis can't give them to her, so her father can't give them to her, and her uncle won't give them to her. And what is her response to that? And realizing that she's kind of alone in her situation. Well, what's the point of me being here?
Mm-hmm.
So she transports herself back to that little girl that was in the building on fire. I'm out here, put myself into the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how we end episode 4.
Oh, okay.
We,
That's how it ended. I was
yeah,
like, damn it, where does this episode end?
yeah, that's how episode end 4 end. So yeah, um, we just ended on a sad ass note, but
Yeah.
a sad ass, morose ass note. Like, oh my god, like that's what we was so entranced in the show that we forgot how it ended. And we're like, oh my god, Claudia.
Okay.
That was the thing too that we just thought about the other day. And it was like, oh yeah, like every episode kind of ends on a cliffhanger. Like
Oh
every episode ends on
yeah.
a cliffhanger. Well,
I
oh yeah, it
forgot.
does.
Yeah.
Leaves you hanging on a cliffhanger. Oh, you guys like doing this to us, I see. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the end of this episode, where we cover 3 and 4. So again, you guys, thank you for rocking with us. Like, subscribe, follow, share, send it out to all the other vampire babies out there. And
Listen, this is like the slow load to the rev up of all time. I
yeah,
don't think y'all know what's coming. Like a tornado through this mother. We
yep.
got Interview with the Vampire season 2. We got Recapping Tal.
Mm-hmm.
We have Daryl
And that's
Dixon
the ones who
season
live.
2. Yeah, the ones who live, sorry. We got Daryl Dixon season 2. We have Recapping From, so that we can have that down before the new season comes. We have Recapping Found, so that we
Mm-hmm.
can have that down packed before the new season comes. This summer we'll be jumping over at Noir and Nerdy.
Yep. Yeah.
Catch us in 2 weeks in Sonoy, Georgia for the camp. I will be there from Thursday to Monday. Joy will be there
I'll
from.
be there when I get there. Y'all don't need to be on my business. When you see my giant ass, then you know I'm there. Okay. Don't be clocking me. Okay. You see a giant and you're gonna be like, okay, that's that girl from Brooklyn. Yeah.
Next to two midgets. One midget. I forgot. Kalila won't be there. One midget.
Like, yeah. You'll be like, oh, she is tall. I am.
Who's that large white man with the red beard and blonde hair? That would be Richard. That would be Richie. Don't come up to me acting crazy because I don't know how he gonna react. Chill. Chill.
But yeah.
You
You're
think I'm a caroler? I'm gonna be fun? Nope, not that weekend. Mm-mm.
yeah. So we are going to be back with our recap for episode 5 and 6, and then 7. Then we're gonna kind of be back to our walk the ones who live schedule, where we're gonna be doing our spaces on Sunday. We're gonna have our spoiler free. We're gonna have our recap. But now we'll be doing a recap on the podcast. So if you follow us on Noir&Nerdy.com, there still will be stories up there on the blog. Matter of fact, there should be our recap of season 1 of Interview with Vampire in its entirety should be up today as well. And then our spoiler free may be up today as well. If not, then tomorrow. But either way, it'll be there. We're gonna be right back in our writing bags also.
We have not forgotten about the final episode of Parish,
Oh
or was it
yes,
the final
yes.
2 or the final 1? I
Final
can't remember.
2, yeah.
We have not forgotten about those, and we have not forgotten about the season 1 recap of Parish on the blog either. The
Yeah.
writing will be back
Mm-hmm.
ASAP. But thank you everyone who has been listening on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music and on Audible and on YouTube. Let me tell you how y'all showing off on YouTube. Not only are y'all watching our YouTube videos, but y'all are listening to the audio only version of us on YouTube where you can just see our faces. So thank you for loving us that much.
Right.
And we're glad we're able to keep you guys company at work or on your drive and your commute and while you're cooking dinner, whatever you're doing. You're at the gym on that treadmill. Keep walking. We got you. We see you and your progress. Get it.
We are walking right next to you right now.
Right
Okay?
now.
If you're in your car, we are in the passenger seat.
Not in a weird, creepy way, but in
No,
a good you can use the carpool lane type of way.
right.
Also, Noir&Nerdy does not endorse you driving by yourself and using the carpool lane. You will get a
Please
ticket.
don't. Yeah,
You will get a ticket,
you
and we're
will.
not going to court with you.
You will.
So that. But yeah. But merci beaucoup. Bonsoir.
Bye.
Bye.